Welcome back to Agora Wealth Management, guys. Today I'm going to talk to you about, the obstacle is the way. Actually, not always do I think it's the way, but many times the things that we find ourselves avoiding are the things that need to be done or addressed in some way. And I think that might be the indication of how we're stewarding the opportunities, or maybe the people, the relationships. And I feel like many times the tendency is to not do the difficult thing, not address the hard thing that is. It may almost feel like you can't figure out how to address it. So it's like the solution hasn't presented itself, but have we actually dedicated any time to looking at what might actually be a viable solution to that problem? Sometimes I feel like it might truthfully simply be an act of inverting the things that we don't want to do. And so if it's typically avoid the hard conversation, avoid the person, just go do something else. I think if you force yourself to contemplate what is actually at hand, then I think you look at, well, what are the possible solutions? And so I think, just like in this financial planning business, if you're evaluating risk, oftentimes I think people think they can make money without having risk, but risk is part of producing the return. If you don't have volatility in your portfolio, then you're not producing a positive rate of return. And that's just the reality. There's different types of risk. And so I think it's important to realize what those are, but also, those exist in every different facet. So if you think that there's something that's not at play in that realm of the risk reward, then I think that you're just avoiding the matter altogether. So I know this about myself. I can be avoidant. I can decide that I don't want to deal with something, but I think that doesn't make it go away. That just means that I'm delaying the progress that I would have made if I just addressed what the issue was. And so when you look at this, if you're talking investments, you only have so much time on your side to actually make money. And so that's probably the most crucial part of investing, or one of, right? But you need the time on your side, and the longer you delay, the longer that you lose out on opportunity. And I think part of the human experience is just realizing you are going to fail. The failures can be steps into a greater position of success, but I think we often have this illusion that the path to success is built on perfectionism instead of failure. And I think you have to accept that mentality that you're going to fail your way into success, as long as the lessons are not lost. And so I do believe that that's where the lessons are being put together. And I've realized in my life, at least, that you're given the opportunity to learn a lesson, and if you don't, it continues to represent itself in many different ways, shapes, and forms. So as we move forward in our lives, we have to be willing to accept the fact that we're human, we're all fallen, and there is no perfect answer. So I think once you arrive to that conclusion, you know that you're probably going to screw something up, and the likelihood of having a perfect outcome is very minimal. But you can have a good outcome, and you can always do better than your yesterday. So I just wanted to encourage you guys, don't be afraid to make mistakes. I make a lot of mistakes. I feel like the more that I want to increase my success rate, I have to be willing to take the learning opportunities and really be humble in the lessons, and realize that those lessons could come from a wide array of people, places, situations, and they're going to really, if you allow them, they will teach you. And so you just have to, make notes, be a good student of your own life and decisions. So that's kind of my thought for today. I feel like, God doesn't want us stagnant in where we're at. He wants us to grow. He wants us to be prosperous in our endeavors. He wants us to be blessed. And I don't think that any of the blessings are aligning with anything negative. So I think it's important that we realize that, and not that bad things will happen, and that is part of the process, but it's all about attitude as you go through those, and you can choose to embrace the opportunity to improve, or you can sit in there and be a victim of your situation. So just, evaluate where you're at, why you're there. More often than not, it's probably because you put yourself there. Just the same way as I've done for myself and a multitude of people that I meet with. We're not excited about talking about the reasons that put us in a less than opportune posture, but the whole thing is that we're not stuck. We don't have to be stuck, and being stuck is a decision. So if you guys have questions, I'd love to help you figure out how to get unstuck, how to move out of the place that you're in, how to elevate to the next position, and even just if it means maintaining a discipline. And if somebody needs to help you, just say, hey, you're doing a good job, keep it up, don't give up. I think our time horizon for expecting success is far shorter than it should be. Any of you guys that listen to Alex Ramosi, he talks about this a lot. And it feels like an eternity to put, we're doing 40-hour weeks, some of us 50, 60, or 70-hour weeks. But the reality is we're looking for success in the first part of the effort, when in reality, more often than not, that's going to come months down the road. So, many 2,000 or 3,000 hours of years that we put in until we start to see the success. So don't be discouraged by that, but track it, chart it, and so you can see what you're doing with your life. And if you want to see what systems I use, feel free to drop me an email and ask me how I would go about looking to accomplish whatever goal or plan you have ahead. So I pray that you guys are blessed, and thank you, God, for this opportunity, and appreciate you guys listening. So have a blessed day, and talk to you soon. Email is Kyle, Kyle, at Agora, Agora, wealthmanagement.com. Feel free to reach out with any questions. Love to hear from you. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.